viewers, welcome back to the circus, and wow, do I have the weirdest video for you ever. So Ethan Klein and Ela Klein and the H3 podcast are being sued by Jake Paul and Triller. Now, if you do not know what Triller is basically the knockoff, in my opinion, TikTok. That's it. That's the app. It was basically, in my opinion, just created because TikTok was very popular. And wow, if we create an app that's so similar to TikTok, maybe we'll get a lot of money too. So that, in my opinion, is what Triller is. And Jake Paul, I think, is an investor in that. So that is the reason he's involved in this lawsuit. Also, my nails are painted like the Frenemies color and I'm wearing Teddy Fresh. Let's just get into it. Oh, and also, look, he has a mullet. So yes. Before we get into the video, I just want to remind you that I'm filming in my kitchen living room area, so I'm aware that there's a little bit of an echo. I just moved into this apartment and I'm really starting to get my furniture together, so please bear with me. I apologize. But yeah, let's just get straight into this. This is absolutely insane because not only is Ethan getting sued, he didn't know about it until an article came out about it, which I think is normal in these days for YouTube drama and YouTube lawsuits that we're finding out through like Deaf Noodles or something like that, you know what I mean, like or a Twitter insider article or whatever. No shade to either of y'all, but you know what I mean. So this is what we have multiple things to get through, so we're just gonna start with this first one. So this news outlet, which broke the story, says exclusive: Triller offers clemency to boxing fans who pirated Jake Paul's fight. So Triller is now live streaming like fights, boxing fights, and Jake Paul had a really big fight and it was like £50 to buy a ticket to watch this online. And Jake Paul literally posted on social media, I have it here, he said $65 million generated. I hate Jake Paul, but I mean like $65 million generated because people were buying tickets to this. It was a huge event. So the reason for this lawsuit is basically saying that anyone who re-uploaded it, pirated the stream of the fight or whatever, you know, everyone else had to pay $50 for it, so you're sharing it against our will or something. It doesn't make any sense and it's not gonna properly, in my opinion, go through. So let's just read it before we get to it. So it says, Triller will not pursue legal action against boxing fans who pirated the platform's April 15th fight between Jake Paul and Ben, provided those individuals pay the original $50 price before June 1st. More than 2 million illegal streamers of the Triller Fight Club occurred, the company said, and it will be pursuing those individuals for the maximum penalty of $150,000 per illegal stream of the fight. So this is a quote from Triller's head of piracy. VPNs all have to comply and turn over the actual IP addresses of each person who stole the fight. This is a bit dramatic, but let's just go on. We will be able to identify each and every person, VPN or not, as each stream has a unique fingerprint embedded in the content. This is a bit extreme. So then we go on. Jake Paul was in the fight and he knocked out his fighter. Jake Paul and Triller have set up a website for those who want to pay the amount of money, the $50, before the deadline. So if you don't know what that means, that basically means that they're like, if you watched, you know, a 20-second clip on Twitter, or you watch someone upload this on Twitter, you know, you basically watch the entire fight, give us $50. Eat the rich. Eat the rich. This is my opinion. Final statement. Eat the rich. End of video. Bye. This is ridiculous. So then we go on to the H3 part. Triller filed legal action on April 23rd. It was almost like they were ready to do this. The fight was the week before. In U.S. District Court of Central California against the owners of the H3 podcast website for piracy of the event and a dozen other sites that, you know, restreamed it and profited off of it, the company said. Now, what? They're saying that H3 pirated the stream. H3, if you want to know what actually happened, do 2-hour-long podcasts. And they had a podcast about the fight, in which they watched a clip under fair use, which basically means you can use it if you're adding commentary or, you know, you're adding something to it that's not just you re-uploading it. Ethan and Ela did that. So this lawsuit is not going to go anywhere. They're getting sued, okay, congratulations. You're asking hundreds of millions of dollars off them, from my understanding, and it's not going to go through because it's under fair use. They gave commentary and they're just like everyone else who's allowed to add fair use. It gets worse though. Okay, so this is a quote. The fines are calculated, again, at $150,000 per instance. So for H3, who broadcasted it, the damages are large. St. Clair said, "We are taking this position because it is outright theft. It is no different than walking into a store and stealing a video game off the shelf. In the case of the offending sites, it's worse because they also resold it to many people, illegally profiting off of it." So this was Ethan's response. From the article, he tweeted and said, "Apparently I'm being sued by Triller, ? News to me, especially considering I did not rebroadcast or pirate it." So if you don't know, if you're a streamer or a YouTuber, you'll understand, especially in the commentary field, that fair use is your best friend. It basically means that you can watch clips if you add commentary to them. Or that's why, YouTubers will, on this channel, will watch a clip from someone's podcast, maybe from Frenemies or Ryland's podcast, and we'll stop every 20 seconds and talk about it. It pisses some people off. They're like, "Why aren't you just playing the clip?" Go and watch the clip if you want it. We're adding commentary because then it's our clip as well. We've added something to that. That's what that means. So H3 and, H3 as a whole did that. They're very careful in that. They have a whole team. So their names were just added to this lawsuit for the sake of adding more people to it. So then we go on, and these are the people that are being sued. FilmDaily.com, Crack Streams Live, Access TV, Online 2 Livestream, Sports Today, My Sports Club, Bill of Sport, Trendy Clips, Eclipse Gaming, Mike, You're Extra, It's Lil Brandon, and 100 other entities. So the total value of the lawsuit, if all charges are carried to the fullest, are estimated at 1.5, it's either, I think this is $1.5 billion, or million. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a million. Yeah, I think this is $1.5 billion, is what they're asking from these people that they're suing. Now, it's important to note that in the original lawsuit, they had all of these companies they were suing, but then at last minute, they added the H3 podcast, because in my opinion, the more people they can add to this, they know that Ethan and Eli have a lot of money. Possible more money that they can get. It's ridiculous, but that's how companies act. Now, what I have to show you is this clip from Emily D. Baker, who we absolutely adore on this channel, and congratulations for hitting 100,000 subscribers and your purple hair. Hair is gorgeous. So Emily D. Baker is a legal commentator on this platform, and she did a stream in which she went through the lawsuit, and she basically just confirms that H3 podcast had been dropped from the Triller lawsuit again because there was no argument. So let's just watch this 50-second clip.
Where there is misjoinder, the court can generally dismiss all but the first named defendants without prejudice to the institution of new separate lawsuits against the dropped defendants. Accordingly, the court thus drops all defendants except FilmDaily.com. This order does not limit plaintiff's ability to refile its claims against the remaining defendants in separate actions. It is so ordered. Therein, H3H3 is not being sued, because the court has dropped them as a defendant. So at this moment, the only defendant in this lawsuit is Film Daily. What would the clickbait title say? What's the clickbait on this? H3H3 wins lawsuit?
So I love Emily. So there you go. I've now given you the information that Ethan and Eli got sued, and then the court was like, why are you suing them? Jake Paul, Triller, and didn't allow it. This is ridiculous, and I think it's just whenever companies get so much money, then they sue people for the sake of getting more money. This is what rich people do. Mugger, I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. But it's interesting to note that how quickly, H3 got dropped from this because the judge didn't even feed into it. So, it's important to note, the last thing I'll leave you on, Keemstar, boo. Keemstar and Ethan have a lot of history together. They hate each other. And Keemstar on Twitter has been celebrating this lawsuit and saying that he knows for a fact Ethan's gonna lose everything and he's gonna have to pay out all this money. Keemstar jumped to all of doing that because, he hates Ethan for a lawsuit that didn't even properly go through under Ethan's name because there was no argument there. Yet Keemstar was so confidently telling all of his little Keems, is that what his fandom are called? I don't know. He was telling all of them that Ethan was going to lose everything, he was going to get sued, he was going to get... And look what happened. Who looks like Boo Boo the Fool? Mucker, the mic's on. Who looks like Boo Boo the Fool? It rhymes with meme star. So this is just ridiculous. There you go. I did want to update you that Ethan did get sued and then basically won the lawsuit without having to spend any money, I think, because they didn't even know they were going to get sued. It's messy. It's pointless. Why is this the year of lawsuits? Why is this the year? You know what I mean? Give me people shading each other on Twitter. Please. I'm begging. Do I have to do it myself? Because if it comes to that, maybe. I love you. Thank you for watching. Let me know what your opinion is of this. I just think it's so disgusting that they were gloating that they made so much money from this fight, and now they're trying to get like 1.5 million or billion more. I hate rich people. I hate rich people. Eat the rich. Eat the rich. Let me know what you're thinking, Mucker. I love you. Stay safe, stay well, stay happy, stay gorgeous, Trishy Fishy, and bye. Mwah.